Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into beautiful Louisville Slugger Field right here in Louisville, Kentucky, as Louisville City FC looks to bounce back after 2 losses against the New York Red Bulls 2. My name is Jim Womble, alongside Bob Valvano. And Bob, hail couldn't stop Louisville City from playing a game, massive amounts of rain, and now Tropical Storm Bill could not stop Louisville City.
Well, Bill must be a decent sort as far as tropical storms go, because he has cleared the area with perfect timing. When we got to the stadium here about 5:30 for the 7:30 kick, we couldn't help but notice the skies had already started to clear. It stopped raining. The skies now, not too many clouds up in there, a beautiful night. And the field, a tip of the hat to the Louisville Bats, who's the shared occupants here of this stadium, the baseball team. It is their ground crew that takes care of this place. And I'll tell you what, I walked the field before the game. You'd be hard-pressed to tell we had a monsoon here this afternoon, because it is in really, really good shape, and they deserve tremendous credit for getting the field in such great shape.
Oh, absolutely. And this should be a good one tonight, as it's an important thing here in the standings. Right now, Louisville City FC stands with 20 points in 4th place in the league. They're just 4 points ahead of the New York Red Bulls 2. So this is important for both teams here, as Louisville City would like to extend that lead and give himself a little bit of a cushion. And obviously the Red Bulls 2 would like to close the gap.
Well, not only that, I mean, Louisville is starting a 4-game homestand right now that I think is going to be instrumental as they go forward, because of the last 12 games after that homestand, they only have 4 at home. They play 4 at home, 8 on the road. So they've got to make some headway here in these 4 home games. They still haven't lost a match at home, but they could use 3 points at home rather than just getting 1, and even worse than that, being upset on their home field. The Red Bulls, with their win over Wilmington, got themselves just above the line. They would be in the playoffs if the playoffs were to start today, because they are in 6th place with 16 points. But as you said, Louisville City in 4th place with 20, trying to get within 1 of Richmond and Charleston, who are ahead of them in the standings with 24 points.
And, of course, Louisville City FC coming off a rather lengthy road trip of their own, as they had to face the FC Montreal. That was Wednesday, June 10th, and then drive down to Rochester to face the Rhinos, where they were beaten 2-0. And Rochester Rhinos, what they're doing is absolutely incredible this season, only giving up 4 goals on the season, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is on pace for a record.
Yeah, it is. It's on pace to set the all-time USL record. 4 goals against in 12 matches, and they are in 1st place in the East with 28 points, 8 wins, no losses, and 4 draws. And that stingy defense got the better of Louisville in that match.
As right now you can see the players are coming out onto the field, and as is tradition here at Louisville Slugger Field, playing of my old Kentucky home, a staple of the Kentucky Derby, and also Louisville City soccer.
Players get to walk out on the field, of course, with their with the young players that walk alongside them. One of the great traditions in soccer. I do enjoy that very much, and the kids here, you can tell how much they enjoy it. And we'll have the anthem here in just a moment.
And, of course, quickly, Bob and I, we got the opportunity to travel to Chicago to call Louisville City's U.S. Open Cup match against the Chicago Fire, and a very hard-fought game. But alas, Louisville City couldn't quite pull off enough stops to ultimately beat the Fire.
Yeah, we'll talk about that match, I'm sure, throughout the first half tonight, because they played their hearts out. But as you said, in overtime, just came up a little short, and the Chicago Fire move on to the round of 16 for that U.S. Open.
And we'll go ahead and go through the starting lineups here. We'll start with the New York Red Bulls 2. In goal, Santiago Castaño. And in the back, they've got Sean McLaws, Andrew Jean-Baptiste, Carl Ouimet, Colin Heffren, Dan Metzger, Tyler Adams, Conrad Plua in the midfield. And up top, Derek Etenine, Chris Sonis, and Dan Bedoya. And, of course, they're only traveling with 15 total players tonight, so they won't even be able to use all 5 substitutes. And for Louisville City, some of the usual suspects. In goal, Scott Goodwin. And in the back line, we've got Brian Burke, Enrique Montano, Sean Reynolds, getting, I believe, his second start of the season, Connor Shinosky, and in the midfield, Juan Guzman, Niall McCabe, Kadeem Dakers, and Aiden Quinn. And up top, Nate Pollock and the captain, Matt Fondi, who leads Louisville City with 6 goals this season.
Well, you know, you talked about Reynolds getting a start because of the injury, but he played really well in Chicago. He had a good match up there, and so he certainly distinguished himself, and they'll look for a good match out of him. The thing that I think is going to be interesting to see is if fatigue is a factor for Louisville City. They not only had to play 120 minutes up there, but boy, did they leave it on the field. They defended as if their lives depended on it, and that really was the thing that kept them in it at all, because Chicago did pretty much dominate possession time and had some chances, but guys were absolutely laying it all out there, and a couple of guys come to mind, especially Brian Burke. I'm going to be curious to see how much he has in the tank tonight, because he was everywhere, especially in that second half, blocking shots, really playing both ends of the field, and we'll see what kind of a start he has tonight and how much there is in the tank for him as they go forward tonight in this very important match. There's no question, start of a 4-game homestand for Louisville City.
And, of course, Louisville City going a full 120 against Chicago Fire. So we shall see who's able to withstand this heat, because it is quite humid outside. As, of course, you talked to Amanda Duffy, the general manager, a couple moments ago, and she said, "You babies."
Yes, that's what she said. Coming from Orlando, Florida, she said that's not quite. That's the major league of humidity, not what we're
And we will
getting
take
here.
a quick moment of silence as the tragedy that happened in Charleston recently. So we'll take a moment of silence, followed by the national anthem. All right, once again, welcome back in to Louisville Slugger Field here for the Louisville City FC matchup alongside Bob Valvano. And as you can see right now on your screen, now, Bob, you and I were a little new to this, did not know what a tifo was. But this, what you see on your screen right now is a tifo. Oh, no, as it's falling there. But what the image was, it was a gremlin. And this is because Louisville City, historically this season, has faced all kinds of weather. So the Louisville Coopers, the supporter section for Louisville City, compiled this together. It's roughly, I think, 22 by 20 feet long. So that is the first unveiling of the Louisville City FC tifo.
Somebody in the Coopers has a really big garage. You see them, great group, the Coopers doing a terrific job supporting this club. There were a bunch of the supporters who went all the way up to Chicago for that match against the Fire, which was a great experience for this first-year team, and really played their hearts out. We'll see, as we said, what kind of a start they get off to tonight. I walked the field before the game, Jim, and really considering the amount of rain we had, and they didn't put a tarp down, It's in remarkable shape. The only two spots that are worth paying particular attention to are, and it'll show up on your TV screens, basically as you're looking at it, you can see a little different shade of green where the outline of the dirt infield would be for baseball. What essentially is where third base would be, which is right in that 6-yard box in front of the goal, and where essentially the shortstop would be just outside. Evidently, that is where the lowest points on the field really are, and so the water really accumulated there the most, and it's a little bit soggy there, and you wonder about footing there. But by and large, I was astounded because it was pouring here for the better part of a couple of hours. In fact, I was wondering if they still were going to play the game, but they said the forecast was for it to clear, and that's exactly what they got. And now we got a beautiful night and a field that's in pretty good shape and what looks to be a pretty good crowd coming in for the start of our match.
And, of course, Louisville City FC will look to get back to winning ways as they're off back-to-back losses, as we mentioned earlier. And also, they're looking to just find the back of the net as they've gone over 230 minutes of play without a goal, which is really abnormal for this Louisville City team so far, what we've seen this season.
Yeah, they started out, and James O'Connor talked about he wants everybody to be in an attacking mindset, and you saw that. They've got 20 goals scored in their 12 matches. But, defensively they are still very good. In the Eastern Conference, they are second in goals allowed, behind only those Rhinos who have been unbelievable with 4 goals allowed in 12 matches. Louisville with just 10 in 12 matches, second in the conference. The New York Red Bulls have scored 18 and given up 21 in their 13 matches. And they come in after a 1-0 win on the road in Wilmington. Chris Sonis with a goal in the 72nd minute. And they are on the start of a road trip themselves here. So this is a big match for both teams, there's no question.
As you can see, the players are finally lined up on the field as we are just mere moments away from this thing getting underway. As the New York Red Bulls, too, will start with the ball, and they will be in the away whites, going from left to right on your screen. And Louisville City in the home purples will be attacking from right to left.
And there's a significant breeze at the Louisville City squad's back for this first half. I don't know, that may change, but right now it's blowing pretty much right behind them.
As now opportunity early on is Etienne getting into the box. Passing that up ahead, but excellent play by Sean Reynolds, stopping that play from developing for the Red Bulls.
Boy, we talked about what a good match he had in Chicago and off to a good start here.
And that was Burke there trying to find Fondi or Dakers up top. As Bob and I, we talked about this a lot during the Chicago Fire matchup, is Louisville City likes to go up top and try and Matt Fondi whenever they can.
Boy, they just absolutely throw it up there. He can be 1-on-2, 1-on-3, 1-on-4, and he finds a way to make something good happen.
So now both teams kind of playing in the midfield. Ball finally switches fields, but Louisville City able to win this possession here. And that's now McCabe trying to get back onto that ball.
Louisville going to win a throw in here. Nice ball from Burke. Burke has played some really good soccer of late. As we said, he had a good match in Chicago.
As Dakers takes that quickly and gets that to Burke. Now Louisville City will look into switch fields here, as that's now Reynolds on up to Montano. Montano gets it upfield, finds Pollock. Pollock's got a couple guys on him right now. Now going towards the midfield. Now back to Montano here on the near side. Montano gets it into the box, has Dakers. That ball headed up into the air, and the Red Bulls will get it back here.
Good pressure early by Louisville, as I thought they were going to win another throw, but the difference between here and early in Chicago, boy, they were on their heels right out of the chute against Chicago being pressured. They've had some time and space to be able to create some things here.
Now Montano with the ball, but he turns it over here, and that was a problem against the Fire for Louisville City. Now the Red Bulls are working it. That's McClaws here on the near side, and he'll send that back into the backfield. And now back to Louisville City it is. As Matt Fondi and Pollock trying to get something going here. And Pollock will get himself a little space here, and he'll look to switch fields all the way to Burke, who heads it up to Dakers, and Dakers a nice little back kick over his head and almost found McCabe on the end of that one.
Going to be a New York throw here.
And the Red Bulls throw it in here, and they'll pass that one all the way back to the net. That's Castano receiving a little pressure there. Now the Red Bulls working from the midfield. Almost lose it to Louisville City here. Now coming to the far side. Back into the box. A dangerous ball, but Goodwin's right there for the save. Now Montano running up on the near side. They'll send that back to Reynolds, who will get it all the way back to Goodwin. And they'll look to work through Shinaski.
Ooh, dangerous ball there to give away.
And they lose it now. A chance, a shot, and the Red Bulls are on the board early in this one. In just the 4th minute of action.
Shinaski, you certainly don't like to lay the blame at the feet of one player, but that was just an atrocious ball. Not only did he lose it, but he lost it playing it to the middle of the field, which is absolutely the worst place where you can make a turnover. He knows it, but what an awful spot. Goodwin, very little chance, and that's what you have to be able to do in this game when the opposition makes a mistake, make it pay. Take a look. As we take a look at the replay here, not only is it going to be a giveaway, but watch playing it to the middle, just a giveaway, and that turns into a great opportunity, and he makes no mistake from right at the top of the box. And it is 1-0. The Red Bulls have gotten on top very early in this one.
And that was Conrad Plua on the goal for the Red Bulls there. And a very, very soft pass by Shinaski, who was trying to get that one to Guzman. Now, Louisville City working here on the far side. And they'll kick that back to Reynolds. And now moving over to here to the near side, Montano.
Oh, and another giveaway.
Once again, turnovers mounting for Louisville City here early in dangerous positions. There's a player that slipped on the turf. I believe that was Metzger. Oh, we'll have a foul against the Red Bulls here, as Louisville City bailed out there by the whistle. Now Montano trying to get things started quickly. He's got Fondi here up top. Fondi puts the move on to get some space. Sends that back and now switches fields. Guys, Burke on the far side. Burke, one man to beat, but loses it here. And now the Red Bulls in possession. Well, a double team there by FC. So now that's Fondi, leaves that back. It's McCabe trying to get that into the box, takes a deflection. So that's Pollock here getting double teamed. And he'll lose it here as the counter is on for the Red Bulls. So now a little back and forth here. Red Bulls maintain possession, but only for just a moment, as Louisville City gets it right back, only to give it right back to the Red Bulls. A lot of sloppy passing from both teams in the beginning here. So now this ball finally finds a home, as that's Quinn trying to find Dakers. Dakers giving chase, and Castano having to come way out of the box.
That's a good ball, because obviously he had to come out of the box, couldn't pick it up. Took the safest play and just played it over the side, gives up the throw-in.
Now Burke will now take this throw-in here for Louisville City FC on the far side. Burke sends it in. Now this ball finds the box, but there was no Louisville City player in the vicinity of that one, as that one goes safely into Castano's hands. It's now Castano orchestrating things from the back, and he'll boot this one deep downfield. This ball will go out of bounds. Red Bulls throwing. Red Bulls working on the far side. They switch fields. They've looking for Metzger, I believe, now, who's on the near side. Excuse me, that was Jean-Baptiste. It's now Louisville City looking to work things down the near side. Pollock, poor touch there. Bailed out by Reynolds. And now about ball to Burke. There's a whistle.
It's a handball. They go quickly with the restart.
Now Guzman. Back to Shinoski. Shinoski passing back to Goodwin. Goodwin will switch fields to Reynolds.
Again, a lazy pass.
And now the Red Bulls had an
goodness.
opportunity.
Look in the back. Really loose play early by Louisville.
And you have to imagine Coach O'Connor's not pleased with that in the early going. And now Fondi with the ball. He's inside the box, takes the shot. He puts in the back of the net, but the flag is up.
Offside, way out by midfield.
And you can hear the displeasure from the fans here at the ballpark tonight. Ballpark/soccer stadium.
You wonder if some of the sluggish play in the back is fatigue, because that back line was worn out against Chicago. They played their hearts out under siege for basically 120 minutes and didn't give up a goal until the 115th minute of that match, late in the second overtime. And it may just be a little bit of fatigue there.
Yeah, that's an excellent insight right there, because you got to think that's some seriously tired legs.
And it's out of character for them. They've been really rock solid in the back for most of this year.
Now that's Quinn in the midfield.
Going to be called for a handball there as he went to trap it.
As Quinn's claiming he took it off the chest, but the ref sees it the other way. As now the Red Bulls.
Dangerous spot here from just right of second base.
As the Red Bulls looking to get things started here on the restart. That ball sent into the box and a shot, but an even better save by Goodwin as he was in the exact right place at the perfect moment. And again, some dangerous passing in the backfield by Louisville City as they were in the process of trying to clear it.
Now they win a throw-in, but that's a beautiful set piece for New York right there. Nicely delivered ball and got it on goal. Wasn't blistered on goal, as you said. Scott Goodwin in the perfect position to just catch it chest high, but a dangerous ball.
So we have a Louisville City throw in here, and that's Montano looking things to get started on the near side. Well, Louisville City will lose it, only for that ball to be sent back out of bounds. And now to Fondi up top on the near side. He's got a couple men to beat. Gets it to Pollock. Now Pollock holding. He'll send that back to McCabe. And Louisville City will look to restart here from their own backfield. As now Guzman switches fields over to Burke on the far side, but poor touch from Burke loses it, and the Red Bulls ball.
That's dangerous. Offside, though.
As that was Metzger, who had all kinds of space. But fortunately for Louisville City, he was a step or two offside. Now Shinoski on the far side. Again, back to Goodwin. Over to Reynolds. Red Bulls giving chase, as they've caused a couple turnovers in the early going. Now Shinoski, another turnover here as the Red Bulls have some space. And they'll look to switch fields here, but nobody is there, and that will go out of bounds for a throw into Louisville City. Now Montano gets that ball to Fondi, who comes all the way back to leave it off to Shinoski, who sends that ball up on the far side. Burke.
Too far.
He's going to run out of real estate.
One of the things that has been a trademark of this Louisville team so far in this season has been their ability to create quick strikes off counters. You make a mistake and they make you pay. Well, it looks like this Red Bulls team has much the same philosophy. When Louisville has turned it over, they have been on their heels in a hurry.
And particularly with a couple players giving a lot of pressure up top, not making it easy for the Louisville City defensive line. As this ball bouncing a couple places will fall to Goodwin. And he'll look to get things started early as he's looking for Dakers up top.
Yeah, he loves to try the quick. I love that he's very much the first line of offense, as they say. Not only the last line of defense, but your first line of offense, and Scotty Goodwin does a terrific job of that.
As Dakers with the turnover there. On the Red Bulls give it right back. It's now Reynolds in the backfield. Now up to Quinn. Quinn trying to thread a needle to McCabe, but turns it over. But Matt Fondi with the extra effort wins it back and draws a foul.
But Fondi has been a workhorse. He really has.
As Louisville City very quickly. As that's Dakers now flicking it up to the far side, trying to find Burke. And that ball will roll out of bounds for a goal kick. So we're in the 14th minute here. And Louisville City down very early. As that's Castano sending that one upfield. And Bedoya with Burke applying some pressure causes the turnover. Excuse me, that was Chris Sonis. And the Red Bulls will get the throw in here.
Sonis, the guy who scored the game winner down in Wilmington in the 72nd minute of that 1-0 win down there.
As now Dakers gets the ball here. And Fondi giving chase. Fondi gets a foot onto it. Ends up losing it. Now Guzman wins it back.
Nice.
Flicks it up to Fondi. They're trying to get that to Dakers, who now gets it up to Fondi, but the flag is up once again. As Castano will take the kick here. He boots that way downfield. Looking for Plua, the goal scorer. That ball headed up a few times. It's now Metzger on the ball. And they'll switch fields now on to the far side. And they'll have to reset all the way in their own defensive third.
Louisville still looking for their first shot in this match as we're in the 16th minute. Red Bulls have two, and of course one found the back of the net.
This ball taking a couple bounces here as both teams trying to get possession. Now Shinoski wins it.
Oh my
goodness. And
goodness.
another dangerous pass, and Goodwin's in trouble, but unfortunately for the Red Bulls, that ball took a bounce too far off Etenine's boot and rolls out of bounds for a goal kick. As Shinoski, again, some seriously careless passing.
Yes, really is. Again, you wonder if it's fatigue, but whatever it is, not sharp early. And now the pressure, and Goodwin just has to kick it over the sideline, and they are out of sorts in the back line here. Uncharacteristically wobbly in the early part of this match in the back, which has been a pretty rock-solid group for the Louisville City team so far this season. But today, not been their strongest suit.
As now Plua almost lost that to McCabe. Interesting dummy there as the Red Bulls will reset once again from their own half. This ball sent upfield looking for Plua, but Burke is there. And now Guzman has it, but he's got a lot of bodies around him. Gets some space. Now to Fondi, who switches fields now to the near side to Montano, and now the counter is on for Louisville City. But Montano trying to get that up to Pollock, and some more careless passing really all over the pitch here in the early going for Louisville City. Now McCabe on the far side. Dakers now looking for Fondi. And Louisville City gets the ball back. Now Shinoski, see what he does here with this ball. Last couple passes have not been very good. Back to Shinoski.
There's still obviously a lot of this match to go. That's the hardest thing. Got to get yourself settled back down. Not even halfway through this first half.
As now a nice through ball there finds Matt Fondi. Fondi putting the speed on. Has Dakers to the side if he wants him, but he'll take the shot, and that will take a deflection, go out of bounds. Be a throw in here for Louisville City. So now Burke sends this one into the box. Nice defensive stance there. Louisville City still with possession here as they'll look to restart. Now
Nice.
Burke has some space, chips it into the box, has the shot and the save by Castano.
That was a beautiful bit of offense. A little wall pass to start it with Burke, and then he put the cross right on the money. Not the hardest of heads, but found a wide open man, and the first real opportunity that Louisville City's had in this match here in the 19th minute.
There's then a whistle there and be a foul against the Red Bulls. Is that perhaps the best opportunity for Louisville City in this game?
No question about that. That was a very good opportunity and beautiful passing to set it up.
Now Montano on the near side as Louisville City will switch fields. Now Dakers back to Guzman. Guzman has Burke if he wants him, and he'll like to pass that back, and it'll be another turnover. And now the counter is on for the Red Bulls.
That's a beautiful through ball.
Plua running into the box, getting pressured, but a nice defensive stance by Guzman and Chinaski tag teaming there as they dispossess Sonis there. And now that ball was tracking, looking for Dakers.
That was a good ball, and the crowd appreciates it because Dakers making a good run. The ball was put in a very dangerous spot, and all they could do was concede the match's first corner. We'll see if Louisville can do something with it. And, of course, they're already doing something in the fight against cancer, Corners for Cancer, to help benefit the V Foundation for Cancer Research. So the first bit of money being raised tonight. We'll see if they can parlay that into something on the scoreboard.
McCabe set to take this, sends it into the box, and nobody is on the near post. And that ball will be headed out of bounds, be a Louisville City throw-in. As Dakers now with the touch. He'll take the shot. Beats a man, but an easy save for Castano.
Nice idea by Dakers, though. Start getting the sense to try and put a little pressure on. Hits it low and hard at the corner, but as you said, so far away that Castano with a nice dive to his left and able to take it easily.
Just over 20 minutes into this one, and the New York Red Bulls, in case you're just joining us, got a very early goal off a careless pass by Connor Chinaski. And now the Red Bulls in another position as Montano tries to pounce and disrupt it, and does. Now finds Pollock. Pollock will get that one upfield, but will lose that here. As now the Red Bulls looking to get their own attack started once again.
That's, well played to keep that one in. I thought that was sailing over the sideline, but kept in play, and now they've got a chance.
Now Montano's
having a solid start to the match on that left side.
He gets that up to Fondi. Ooh, nice, almost beautiful footwork by Fondi. Bailed out by Dakers, and now back to Quinn. As Louisville City working from the near side again. Now McCabe. McCabe has a little bit of space. Gets that off to Pollock on the near side. Pollock. He sends that ball along the ground, and Dakers tried to give a touch pass there. Well, that ball will fall to Castano's feet as Fondi running up just a little bit, forcing him to pick it up. So now Castano booting this one downfield. And Louisville City will win it here. Well, the Red Bulls applying a lot of pressure once again, and I believe that'll be a handball on Louisville City, and that ball will be going the other way, back to the Red Bulls. As a Red Bulls player down there after a physical collision. He is still down on the field at the moment. Now the ref asking to talk to Quinn, I believe. And looks like he was able to walk off on his own feet. So good to not see a serious injury there, as he'll be able to continue.
Not sure who. I'm not even sure who that was who was down. Was it Bedoya who went down? He's taking the free kick.
As Bedoya does take that free kick, but that will go sail out of bounds. Be a goal kick for a good one. Now, I'm not entirely sure who that was, but whoever it was, he clearly appears to be doing just fine now. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him. It's now Goodwin sending that one. Finds Burke on the far side.
Nice.
Who gets
a little too far.
almost got that up to Dakers. Dakers still applying some pressure.
That's going to be a foul.
A little too much pressure.
The problem, as you can see, and I think you see it from Dakers there, is as you mentioned, they came into the match, Louisville, going how many minutes without scoring? It's 200.
I believe it's 230, over 230 minutes.
230, and now we're 24 minutes into this one. And as the drought continues, the frustration mounts. And that's something that's hard to play through, but they're going to have to find a way.
And you always hear that's never good for the psyche of forwards, as if they have trouble finding the back of the net, they start to lose confidence. So if the whole team as a whole is having struggles finding the back of the net, we shall see if Louisville City is able to find the back of the net here, as Dakers was trying to do some fancy footwork there and loses it. Now the Red Bulls give it actually right back, as now Pollock working with Guzman. And Guzman will keep it on the near side. Back to Pollock. Now over to Shinosky. And back to Guzman, who flicks that upfield. Finds McCabe, who gets that back to Guzman with a nice leave off for Burke. Burke now on the far side. He'll send that ball into the box, but nobody is there for Louisville City, as the Red Bulls trying to get their own attack started here. And a nice burst of speed by Etanine. He's racing downfield, only Reynolds to beat. Still holding on to the ball. Nice series of turns there. And he finally gets rid of it. And a shot off the post.
Etienne doing some serious heavy lifting there. He made about a 50-yard run and then evaded two defenders, and now does a nice job sliding and stopping the counter. He is. Oh
my goodness!
They give a man of the match. He should get the man of the last 5 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever it was, because that was a dazzling little display by Etienne there. Derek Etienne, fantastic.
And of course, the most notable thing for me there was that burst of speed he had
goodness.
on the sideline. He blew by his man.
Louisville very lucky they're not staring at a 2-goal deficit here.
As there, we'll get another look at it here as Etanine again putting the moves on, and then a wonderful shot. Had Goodwin beat.
Louisville can relate to that. They sent one off the crossbar in Chicago in that first half. That might have been a very different match also.
As that's McClaws sending that downfield, but Reynolds will just guide this out of bounds, be a goal kick for Louisville City. As they take this very quickly, it's now Shinosky, and he's getting pressured. Just gets rid of it up to Dakers. And now to Burke, who has a decent amount of space now on the far side. And he'll get that back to Guzman. Guzman, a nice little turn. Guzman finds McCabe, and McCabe will lose it. And now the counter is on for the Red Bulls. It's now racing down this far side of the field. Almost lost it there, as that's Metzger, kind of a misstep. And he leaves this off for Bedoya. Bedoya with only Guzman to beat, but Guzman, excellent defensive play there. And that will fall out of bounds, be a throw into the Red Bulls. So now Heffron set to throw it in, and he'll lose it here as Guzman wins it. Tries to backheel it off of Bedoya's foot. Maybe a little too fancy as he loses out of bounds. Will be a corner kick to the Red Bulls.
First corner for the Red Bulls. They did well with a free kick, though, from this same side of the field. Turned it into a shot on goal by Heffron earlier. See what they can do with this one.
This looks like Etnine getting set to take this one. And he sends that into the box. Dangerous ball as that hits the near post out of bounds. That was a good one. Now we'll take the goal kick. Now Guzman up to Burke, who has some space on the right side of the field. He has Dakers. Dakers will take it. Almost gave it back to Burke, but instead to take it on. Dakers gets it back. Dakers still with the ball, getting pressured. That ball flicked, now finds Fondi. Fondi will turn, take the shot.
Wonderful turn by Fondi, who we haven't called his name much in the last few minutes. They've been defending him as everybody who plays Louisville does. They certainly start their defensive game plan with stopping number 9, but he made a terrific turn there, managed to get it on goal anyway.
As we are now 30 minutes into this one, and there's a flag up there, as I believe that will be offsides against Louisville City. 30 minutes into this one, and the Red Bulls, too, still up 1 after an early goal in the 4th minute by Conrad Plua. So now that ball here on the near side, batted out of bounds.
Montano's having a solid match on that left side in the back tonight.
And a very long throw in by the Red Bulls, but all the way back to Castano. Sends that one upfield. And now that's Etienne on the far side. Etienne trying to beat Burke.
Going to win a corner, I believe. Yes, he is.
There's that ball did just touch the outside foot of Burke. And the Red Bulls will look to capitalize on this opportunity here, as that corner kick just a moment ago was another very dangerous shot as that ball went just into the side netting. Etienne sends it in. That ball took a couple of bounces. Etienne races in, tries to get it.
One really lethargic Louisville in the back. This has got to be a spillover from Chicago. This is very uncharacteristic for this side.
As a whistle there, and we have a Red Bulls player. Oh, he's just tying his shoe.
No, Heffron is.
He's a little gimpy.
Shaken up.
As you were saying, Louisville City defense right there. Really, actually, the only player that was moving was Etienne. He was the only one racing to try and get that ball.
I think they might have been anticipating a flag being up or something, but they still, until you hear that whistle, you better keep playing.
Of course,
That's true in any sport.
Of course, this will be a good opportunity for all the players to get some water here now, as it is quite humid. Heffron still receiving attention.
Mad about something, I'm not sure what.
And he is helped up to his feet. Looks like we will may have a substitution here if Heffron is unable to continue.
He doesn't look like he's injured that badly. Maybe he is. He looks disgusted about something, as if whatever happened to him may preclude him continuing. I don't know. We'll see.
It looks like on the sideline, which is opposite field from us, it looks like Coach is talking to one of the players. So,
well, you see the frustration for James O'Connor, and understandably, this is uncharacteristic of his squad tonight. But as we said, still a lot of match to be played. I don't know. He may be upset about something going on with the officiating. I'm not sure what. Let's just put it this way. He's not very happy.
As he finally does make it to the sideline. So for just a moment, the Red Bulls will be down a man.
Nope, you're right. They're going to make a substitution. And here it is.
That will be all for Heffron. As that will be James Thomas, number 33, will be replacing Colin Heffron, as his night is finished. And as the restart, now Pollock on the midfield. Again, the Red Bulls swarming him.
Yeah, he got lucky, I think, a little bit there. Maybe a little bit too much. Seems to be, I'll tell you, Burke has had a lot of room over here on the right. If they can change fields quickly, he's been able to parlay that into some crosses.
Now Shinowski does get it to Burke. A nice touch pass to Dakers. Dakers now tries to send it in the box, takes a deflection.
Now Burke will have another chance.
Fondi with the extra effort, wins it back. Now Burke to Dakers. Dakers has some space, takes the shot. But that one never had a chance, as that one was wide, high, and left.
Getting good things, though, when they play to the right side. Dakers and Burke playing little two-man games to get somebody some time and space for a cross, or in that case, for Dakers himself to have a go.
And that's Dakers with a couple chances, really some of the better chances for Louisville City in the early going. This ball will roll out of bounds, Louisville City throw in. It's now 35 minutes into this one. New York Red Bulls 2 still up 1 over Louisville City FC. So that's Pollock trying to get that to McCabe. Got a whistle here. And that will go against the Red Bulls. Will be a free kick for Louisville City.
If they could somehow find a way to knock one into the back and get the equalizer by halftime, I think psychologically that would be huge for this team in a now over 265-minute scoring drought, coming off back-to-back losses for the first time in the franchise's history, even though one of those was to the Chicago Fire. Still, that was a very fatiguing match mentally and physically. They could use a little boost right here.
It's now working on the right side of the field as Shinowski gets that up to Dakers, who chips it to Burke. Tried to head it back to Dakers and does. Now Dakers.
Here they go again.
Will take on everybody by himself.
That's a little too much there.
Ends up getting dispossessed there. As that ball almost anybody's ball. That's Montaneau racing over to it. And
that was actually Reynolds over there who switched with Montaneau, who made the play on the left side.
As that's McLeod was racing downfield.
There's Montaneau trying a long ball.
Almost found Fondi, but a little too much pace and too far in front of him as it goes right to Castano. And there'll be a foul there. That one going against Quinn. Just trying a little too much to win the ball back. It's now the free kick for the Red Bulls. Now back to Castano, who boots this one downfield. Shinowski tries to win it in the air and does. Gets it to Guzman. Up to Fondi. Fondi has Pollock on his right, but Fondi with a burst of speed will do it himself. Takes the shot.
Oh, my.
And just wide, as that was outside the outstretched arms of Castano. But it was
I think
always
he must
going
have gotten
wide.
a piece of it because they're giving Louisville a corner.
Oh, well, what do you know? I thought that one missed Castano.
Let's see. We'll take a look again. Beautiful burst of speed by Fondi. Left foot. Yep. Just might have been enough to keep that from equalizing this match. Good. A better save by Castano than we realized when we watched it in real time.
This ball sent into the box, but again, the Red Bull defensive line on the set pieces has been excellent so far. Now Burke on the right side. He'll send that one into the box. And that one will go out of bounds for a goal kick, as it was Castano. A little slow to get up there as he backed up into the goalpost pretty hard.
As an ex-goalkeeper, I was going to say I know that feeling. It's an awkward ball. You're not quite sure where the goalpost is. You can't give up on the ball, and you suddenly realize, hey, I'm out of room here.
Because, I mean, I don't know how many goals I've seen where guys just sending in from kind of far out and the ball just kind of going nice and slowly and end up finding the back of the net.
Louisville having a little bit better in the play in the last 10 minutes or so, getting some more opportunities. And here's going to be another chance for them off a throw-in. A little bit of a push here right before halftime.
As Pollock now double teamed here, but that will go off Bedoya and will be another throw-in for Louisville City. As this ball sent in to McCabe, he gets it back to Montano.
Nope, nobody there. They could have used the chance to change fields, but they never really had an opportunity to do it.
And now Red Bulls player swarmed, and that will be a foul against Louisville City. And the Red Bulls will get the free kick here. '40th minute here. New York Red Bulls 2, still up 1-0 over Louisville City. And this ball sent into the box looking for Etienne. Louisville City will win it, but
no.
Dakers gives it back to Etienne, and now a chance for the Red Bulls. Louisville City defense doing everything they can right now as Etienne beats Burke on the end line.
Wins a corner. Boy, Etienne is fearless and very, very effective at taking on players one-on-one. We saw it earlier where he made about a 50-yard run and seemingly went through about 3 Louisville defenders before leading to an opportunity that went off the goalpost. And now this wins a corner for his team with a bit of dazzling footwork there.
It's now Bedoya. He sends this one high up into the box. And that'll be a foul going against the Red Bulls. Be a Louisville City ball now. So now Reynolds gets it up to Montano, pressured early. There's a lot of Red Bulls players still forward.
A difference in philosophy. You can see the Red Bulls, Castano likes to play long ball with those goal kicks, and Louisville does not. But here they organize a good attack.
There's a nice ball down the left side to Pollock. But good defending there as that one takes deflection out of bounds for throw-in. It's now Montano. He'll send that one into the box looking for Fondi. What a beautiful job there. Red Bulls player closing on that ball. As Louisville City will have to reset this attack. Now back to Reynolds, and they'll switch fields to Montano. And he'll send this ball into the box, but nobody is there for Louisville City. As this ball was looking for Sonis, takes a deflection off Reynolds, out of bounds. An interesting pass there as no Red Bull players around it, and that ball will go back to Goodwin. And he'll roll that one along the line to Reynolds. And Goodwin will get it back here. As now back to Shinoski on the right side. Up to Guzman. Louisville City very patient in this attack out of the backfield. As Pollock, a nice touch pass there to McCabe. Dakers now. Dakers trying to put the speed on, gets to Fondi. Fondi. That ball just a little too far in front of him off that last touch, turns it over, and now the Red Bull counterattack is underway. But Shinoski stops it. That was a quality defensive header there, as Burke, if he had gotten onto that one without the deflection, had all kinds of space. Quinn switching fields. It's a nice ball up to Dakers.
Yeah, it'll be a free kick in a dangerous spot for Louisville.
And a booking, as that will go against Andrew Jean-Baptiste. That'll be the first yellow card of the match.
A yellow card has been issued to New York's number 35, Andrew Jean-Baptiste.
So now both Guzman and Quinn standing over this one.
This is certainly an opportunity in the 44th minute as we head into the 45th minute right now.
As now Quinn looks like he will be the one to take it for Louisville City.
Clock on your screen is actually about 18 seconds behind the one on the stadium.
And Quinn takes it quickly now to Burke. Burke flicks it up into the box. Almost found Fondi in the air. That ball still not out of danger, but a nice grab by Castano, and he looks to start the counter very quickly, looking for Etienne. And he finds him, but Burke with a
really,
nice
I mean,
effort
this is
there.
what he did in Chicago, covering so much ground to get back there and then break up the attack.
And now Dakers getting pressured. Back to Burke. Gets that up to McCabe. And almost loses it here, but Guzman. Now the Red Bulls again applying a lot of pressure upfield. Now to Montano, who off the shin guards.
We're in stoppage time now. The screen shows 10 seconds behind.
And we'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time here. Now the Red Bulls working on the backfield. A lot of Louisville City players up top. Now Guzman over to Quinn in the midfield. To Pollock, trying to get that back to Quinn, but a turnover here. And now the Red Bulls and Bedoya looking to get the attack started. Now Dakers, if he can get a head onto it, has a chance. A little too physical there going after that ball, and that will be a foul going against Dakers. As there's another look of the tifo in the stands, the gremlin. And now Etienne. He'll send that back to the backfield. Etienne gets it back though, but Burke intercepts it now to Guzman. Couple quick passes there by Louisville City. Now Dakers dummies it, leaving it for Fondi. Be a throw into Louisville City. Fondi giving Dakers the lead. Dakers able to get it and lose it, but it will be a throw in going against the, that will be off of Dakers. As the fans not very happy about that one.
Six shots for Louisville now, 4 for New York, but New York's had the only one that's found the back of the net, and that's what we'll have as our halftime status. The visitors with a 1-0 lead.
As an interesting half there indeed, as the Red Bulls getting that very early goal off some seriously sloppy passing by Louisville City. As we'll be right back with more from Louisville Slugger Field in Louisville, Kentucky. You've been watching live action of the USL Soccer exclusively on the Louisville City FC YouTube channel, produced by Tourbor Sports Group. Almost forgot how hard it is to see from up here.
Oh, how about that?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into Louisville Slugger Field as Louisville City FC currently down at home to the New York Red Bulls 2 off a very early goal by Plua in the 4th minute of action. Once again, my name's Jim Womble alongside Bob Valvano as we are moments away from the start of the second half.
Those of you who were with us for the first half heard us raving about Derek Etienne, and he's an interesting story. He's a young man who, while playing for this Red Bulls 2 team, is only 18 years old. He's accepted a scholarship to the University of Virginia and is going to be allowed to fulfill that scholarship because he's playing on this club as an amateur. He accepts no salary, and he's allowed to keep his amateur status, so he gets to play with this club, and he will still be able to play for his college team going on. He has been a member of the under-20 Haitian national team, and boy, this young man was pretty impressive in the early part of this match with a tremendous run and led to a great scoring opportunity that actually went off of the goalpost and a number of other plays as well. So a very, very promising guy and a very young player who certainly has some bright days ahead of him. We've been impressed with seeing him firsthand for the first time in person.
Well, absolutely. Is now the Red Bulls getting set to walk onto the field. Louisville City already there, as you have to think that was maybe not the most fun locker room to be in at halftime for Louisville City, as a lot of careless passing, really almost sluggish play, which we have not accustomed to seeing this season.
Well, you wonder if it's fatigue. You know, they have had a busy schedule. They came off a grinding road trip where they had 3 matches, the last of which was very physically demanding in the U.S. Open Cup against the Chicago Fire, where they played their hearts out before losing 1-0 in overtime. And you just wonder if that has weighed on them. You made a good observation at halftime, though. You wonder if, in fact, Louisville City will turn to number 94, Charlie Adams, who had a good match in Chicago, and he is always an energy guy, and you certainly think maybe they will get some fresh legs out there. They need a little bit of a boost, and they certainly need to put one in the back of the net, as they are now, 270 some odd minutes without scoring a goal. And they're making substitutions. They're being announced already.
As Magnus Rasmussen and Sidney Rivera coming on for Louisville City.
Charlie Adams, there
and
we go.
Also Charlie Adams, as a lot of the regular players from Louisville City now in the lineup, and also a substitution for the Red Bulls as Santiago Castaño's night is done between the pipes, as now Rafael Diaz, number 74, will be back in goal for the Red Bulls. As things are about to go underway, as you see the new substitutes, Rasmussen and Rivera standing over the ball. As Louisville City again in the home purple will be going from right to left. And the Red Bulls, left to right, Louisville City. And the Red Bulls will be going white to left in the away rights. As we are now underway.
The official takes a tumble. Always gets a response from the crowd.
As that ball goes out of bounds, and now Adams getting his first touch of the night. Back to Montano, a nice effort there, but I believe he committed a foul there.
I'm going to get a card.
That's now a Red Bulls player down. Slow to get up off of that challenge, as that's Chris Sonis, number 45, and he was able to get up on his own strength. Now the free kick to be taken by number 3, Sean McLaws. So McLaws takes that, sends it in. A Louisville City defender off the header, and a shot from outside the box. That goes way over the net.
I think they're going to call it a deflection, and I think it's going to be another corner, I believe. It is. I didn't see who got a foot on that, but somebody did.
Thus causing that ball to go way off target. So the Red Bulls will indeed take the corner, and there's Etienne. He sends it into the box, and Goodwin comes out and takes it.
Boy, Goodwin loves to do that. The quick counters, and he is good at it.
And he's looking for Rivera. Rivera gets ahead on it, but that falls all the way back to Diaz.
Goodwin does not take the long goal kicks very much. We saw his counterpart at the other side, Castaño, played long ball a lot, but off of saves, Goodwin likes to get that offense started quickly, and he did there.
And now Bedoya on the near side inside the box. But the flag is up and offsides. And actually a quick, I made a mistake earlier. Santiago Castaño did not get subbed out. I believe I heard the number 94 over the loudspeaker
I was
for
wondering
Charlie
what you were
Adams.
saying. Well, that seemed odd to change the goalkeeper.
He
Who
was playing pretty well.
played well, and as we said, he likes to play long ball off the goal kicks. Castaño had a good first half.
So now Goodwin sending this one downfield. Rivera again up top. So now that ball up to Burke on the right side. Burke sends that back, and also Colin Fernandez checking in for Louisville City.
Good spot here.
Burke sends it in, had Rivera in there, and that will, I believe, be a foul against Rivera. As
Yeah, that's
too physical in that attempt. As Andrew Jean-Baptiste is taken down to the ground.
he's a big, thick player. Look at Baptiste, strong guy. So
That's not an easy guy to knock over either.
I was going to say, he must have either sold it or been hit pretty hard.
As Bedoya tried to pull the move on Shinoski, does end up getting it back, and that will stay with the Red Bulls. Excuse me, that was Chris Stonis putting the moves on there. It's that ball now inside the box, racing towards goal. The shot takes a deflection off Reynolds. Still not out of danger, but cleared by McCabe. As the Red Bulls will look to strike again. So that's Thomas. Sending that back to Metzger. And that one will go all the way back to Castaño. And Louisville City will get it here. But that ball will again go out of bounds, be thrown back to the Red Bulls.
Starting to get some shots. They were slow to get going, but they've got 7 shots to just 4 for the visitors, but still on the short end of the scoreboard.
As Shinoski gets that back to Goodwin, and Etienne was giving chase. And almost another turnover for Louisville City. And it is a turnover. That's now racing down the far side. The shot by Etienne, and that finds the back of the net as Goodwin was unable to get there in time. And again, another costly turnover for Louisville City, leading to a very easy goal.
Yeah, they have been, as you said, a little loose with the ball. The passing has not been up to speed, and to the Red Bulls' credit, when you've made a mistake, they have made you pay, as they did right there. Again, not only a mistake, but mistakes in the most vulnerable parts of the field. You take a look again. Here's the takeaway right there. And a little slow to recover defensively. Look at unmarked men all over the place. On the back of the net again.
There's now a chance here for Louisville City. So that was Rasmussen there. Quinn to take the throw in, gets it to Fernandez. Fernandez somehow able to get that ball to McCabe, but the ball is lost and the counterattack is on for the Red Bulls. Nobody's coming out to meet him. Will take the shot, but that goes wide.
Yeah, he can't believe he didn't get that on goal, and you're right. That is an awful lot of real estate to cover without being challenged. So Louisville's defense letting them down a bit.
As again, the Red Bulls applying a lot of pressure, giving the Louisville City defense some nightmares trying to get rid of it. Oh, and a chance there as Rivera almost stole that from Castano. And he's imploring the fans to get loud as Louisville City does win a corner here. As the beautiful extra effort by Rivera.
Officially, that goal by Derek Etienne is assisted by Chris Sonis at 49-59, and Louisville trying to get one of them back here.
As McCabe will send that one, and that will go all the way across the pond to Montano, and he'll send it back into the box. And he had Rivera on the far side, but just a little bit too far in front of him. Will be a goal kick here for the Red Bulls as Rivera looking like a spark for Louisville City.
They have a big hole to dig out of now. This team that hasn't scored in some 280 plus minutes now finds themselves down 2 goals at home.
As again, the Red Bulls, they're going to be applying pressure the rest of the way as Louisville City has not proven that they can deal with it effectively. As they almost won it back there, as now Adams gets it up to Fernandez. Back to Adams. Hits the deck, and that will be a foul and a booking against the Red Bulls as Tyler Adams gets the yellow card. Joining Andrew Jean-Baptiste. That's now 2 yellow cards against the Red Bulls. Now the ref's having a conversation with Etienne.
A yellow card has been issued to New York's 66, Tyler Adams.
Well,
And now
frustration starting to set in for Louisville. And certainly New York getting a little physical as well.
As Reynolds got that ball up to Adams, and Adams with a little bit of a poor touch, almost lost it. Now back to Reynolds. And Louisville City will look to switch fields, and Shinaski again. Some dangerous passing in the backfield. Now again, the 55th minute. Red Bulls now up 2-0 off of both goals coming off of some incredibly careless passing by Louisville City. As Louisville City looking to regain some offensive momentum, and that's Rasmussen trying to find Rivera. And Rasmussen gets it back on the near side.
Burke with an overlapping run, but they go the other way.
Now Adams puts the moves on, now to Montano. And that goes to nobody except a Red Bulls defender. And now the counter is on for the Red Bulls, but Louisville City's ready for this one.
Boy, Burke continues to play some good soccer for this club.
Now over to the far side, Montano racing to the middle of the field now, trying to thread the needle to Rasmussen, but that ball is thwarted by the Red Bulls, and Montano with an athletic save there, looking to switch fields as McCabe's racing to try and save it, and he does. It'll fall all the way back to Goodwin.
Louisville trying to climb back in this match without their leading scorer, Matt Fondi, who's taken to the bench here.
Now Rasmussen, he'll take the shot, and he's just wide.
Well, they've gotten new life from these substitutes that have come in. Rasmussen, one of them, and that's one of the better opportunities they've had. And he didn't miss that strike by much. Left-footed shot just sails past the post.
There's actually both of Louisville City's top scorers, Matt Fondi with 6 and Kadeem Dakers with 3 goals on the season, are out in the second half. And again, another look at that, and that was an absolutely beautiful strike by Rasmussen. Now Fernandez, Rivera, a nice back heel to Rasmussen, but he's dispossessed, and now the Red Bull counterattack will ensue. It's McClaws getting it over to Edian, but he'll lose it out of bounds.
Well, the Coopers haven't lost faith, still chanting and singing, trying to urge the boys to get one of them back.
Now Burke. Nice use of his skills there on the ball. Now McCabe. McCabe has some space. Has Rivera. Rivera.
Oh,
The
awkward
touch too far
yeah.
in front of him. It's a little softer pass maybe from McCabe, and Rivera with in a very dangerous position would have been able to turn and shoot there. Now Shinowski. Over to Reynolds. That's Louisville City. We'll again try to get things going here.
Oh, just a terrible giveaway there. But one back.
As that's Fernandez, gets that up to Rivera. Rivera on the near side.
Going to win a corner out of it. Boy, what a great, that was the whole spectrum there for Colin Fernandez, who made a terrible giveaway and then a pretty dazzling takeaway and turned it into an opportunity here, and they'll get a corner out of it.
As Colin Fernandez was, and this ball sent into the box. The header by Reynolds, but that one will go out of bounds for a goal kick. As Colin Fernandez was unavailable for Louisville City against the Chicago Fire because he's on loan from the Chicago Fire. And he actually would have been available to play
for the Chicago Fire, right.
That is one of those things in soccer, if you're new to soccer, so finicky is the rules within loans and player transactions. It's almost impossible to follow, but it's sometimes rather comical. As a whistle there going against the Red Bulls is Conrad Plua drawing the foul, or earning himself a foul.
Plua had the first goal of this match very early on, 5th minute.
As Burke trying to get with McCabe on the near side. They turn it over. Well, the Red Bulls give it right back here. So that's a throw-in going back to Louisville City. We're now in the 60th minute. So the clock you'll see on the screen is about 10 seconds behind. But New York Red Bulls 2 still up 2-0 over Louisville City FC. Quinn switching fields to Burke. Burke, that ball a little too far in front of him, but gets away with it. And he gets it back from McCabe now on the near side. Burke, as there's a Louisville City player down in the box, as Burke was looking set to cross it in.
Well, I'd like to see that. I don't know what happened there.
So all of a sudden, I see Rivera was on the ground holding the back of his head.
He was in a battle there with Jean-Baptiste, I believe.
And Jean-Baptiste already playing with the yellow card. McCabe sends this one low. It was met by a Red Bulls defender and cleared all the way to midfield as Burke running back to retrieve it. So now the ball all the way back to Goodwin. To Fernandez. Now Louisville City with some space here in the midfield. Over to Montano. Back to Reynolds. As Louisville City trying to be very patient in this attack, but a nice through ball there to Rasmussen if he's able to corral it.
Everybody's hurt.
Everybody's falling right now. Got 2 players down on the pitch. Got a Red Bulls player and a Louisville City player. Not sure what happened. So it looks like Adams, Charlie Adams for Louisville City, and that's Metzger.
No, I don't think Adams is hurt.
Or that's Rasmussen, excuse me. And Rasmussen very slow to get up, and his left foot looks to be a little sore. He's walking a little gingerly there. But both players able to get up on their own strength. This will be a free kick here for the Red Bulls. And they'll switch fields with this one here. And try and find another hole in the Louisville City defense. So that's a nice move there by Ouimet. Even better move and a better pass if Plua can get the shot off, but he doesn't. As Fernandez and Louisville City, a nice effort there, and Fernandez taken down.
And another card.
And that's the 4th booking of the game total. First one for Bedoya. And 3rd for the Red Bulls. As Fernandez has been a nice spark for Louisville City coming in here. As you can see his speed and ability with the ball at his feet.
Nice ball by Adams.
Rasmussen over to Montano. Tried to get the low cross in, and he'll let that one roll out of bounds for a throw-in. Now back to Quinn. Quinn sends the ball in, and too far as it goes over the net.
Got to do better with that one, and James O'Connor drops his head in frustration. That's an opportunity there. He had a lot of room, was not pressured, and just well out of play. No danger on that cross.
As we'll have another substitution here. This will be a Louisville City substitution. And it looked like McCabe's night is done, and coming on is number 14, Elijah Illick.
You wonder again, not to beat the topic to death, but how much fatigue is a factor for these Louisville City players. Unusual lineups tonight, and oh my goodness, the mistakes that are being made.
As Reynolds there with a very careless turnover, and now Edian, nice cross into the box, but Goodwin was right there, thankfully for Louisville City.
Louisville hoping to get one of these home run balls out here to make something happen, because they need something to kickstart this team. They have been out of focus for much of the night. And I believe he has now used his whole complement of substitutions, James O'Connor has, with Ilya Illick just having come in the match.
Now Louisville City working from the defensive third, as that's Fernandez getting that over to Adams. There'll be a foul there going against the Red Bulls. As got another substitution here as the Red Bulls. That'll be number 93. Bolo Akinyode coming on, and he'll be replacing number 41, Conrad Plua, the guy that got the Red Bulls onto the scoring column very early in the match in the 4th minute, off of a careless turnover by Connor Shinosky. As Louisville City will get set to take this kick here, and that's Fernandez, and he'll switch fields to Shinosky, who's now on the right side. Tried to get that ball up to Illick, but lost it now to Quinn. Gets it back, though, and Fernandez
Offside.
had Rivera there, but the flag was up. As Castano.
Castagna reminds me of the kid in the schoolyard when you're playing touch football, tells everyone, go deep. He's always telling guys to go deep, go long.
I got you. I got you.
He
Trust me, the ball will be there. Just run.
Likes to blast it down there, and he's had a good match tonight.
It's that ball trailing back to Goodwin. And he'll send it over to the right side to Shinosky. Again, the ball coming back to Goodwin, and he'll boot it upfield to Rivera, who tried to touch that over to Adams. Goodwin coming out of the box for this one. And now Shinoski, as Metzger was closing, able to get rid of it. And again, Louisville City turns it over here, and there are some wheels there by Ouimet going all the way. Beats his man to the touchline, sends it in. Well, Louisville City is there as Fernandez chested it down. But Ouimet was coming all the way, doing almost everything by himself. So now Rasmussen getting challenged here on the near side, and will be a foul going against the Red Bulls. A nice bit of work by Adams there, but Louisville City loses it, and the Red Bulls counter is on. Has some extracurricular activities now on the field as a couple guys getting in each other's faces, letting them know they're not happy with what's going on right now, as a couple shoving. A little bit of a shoving match now, as the ref trying to separate everybody. It looks like
even the Louisville players trying to chase Fernandez back, who seems to be the most agitated of the bunch. We'll see if there's any bookings that come out of this.
And the ref, Fernandez, will be talking to the ref, telling him what happened.
And there'll be your yellow card.
That'll be the second yellow card going against Louisville City. It's now Montano and Colin Fernandez, both receiving yellow cards. As Fernandez probably receiving that one for his reaction there, kind of the instigator. And now this ball sent into the box. Good one coming high off his line to punch it out. Now this ball sent downfield, looking for Rasmussen. He's able to get to it. Tried to backheel it over James Thomas, but ended up committing the foul. So now in the 70th minute, again, New York Red Bulls 2, still up 2-0 over Louisville City, as goals from Conrad Plua and Daniel Ettenine, or Derek Ettenine, excuse me, or Edian, both coming off of careless turnovers.
Louisville staring their third consecutive shutout right in the face here, which is a bit of a problem when they go into a key stretch of schedule for them. This is the first of 4 straight home games. And as we said, that's going to be a big stretch because they only play 4 of their last 12 at home after that. So they got to get some momentum here.
And this is a back-to-back USL games, notwithstanding the Chicago Fire game for the US Open Cup, where Louisville City has given up 2 goals. They've now given up 5 goals over the course of the 3 games.
Well, they're still, this new group of substitutions has certainly brought a lot of energy to the table, so they're not done yet.
As Quinn now, and a Red Bulls player there, and Quinn gets it back. Quinn crosses in, and that ball was too far over Sidney Rivera's head.
James O'Connor is the consummate competitor and absolutely animated on the bench, clapping his hands, trying to encourage his players to find a way.
As Castano sending this one deep downfield. And that ball will go out of bounds, be a Louisville City throw-in. As Burke and Louisville City will have to start out of the backfield again. See if they can get some combination passing to get a chance on goal.
9 shots for Louisville, 7 for the New York Red Bulls. And as we said, though, a couple of mistakes for Louisville have led to some really good chances for the visitors, and they've cashed in 2 of them.
As Shinoski, a risky pass there. And that ball will end up going out against Louisville City. It'll be another turnover. As Thomas is trying to get things going on the near side. And he'll send that along the sideline, but that will go out of bounds. And will stay with the Red Bulls.
It's the point of the game. They'll be in no hurry to restart play on throw-ins, corner kicks. Time is their friend right now.
As Rivera trying to corral the ball but unable to. And Etienne almost with another bit of magic.
Louisville's spacing has just looked out of sorts for much of the night. There's not time and space to be able to do things. And again, I really don't want to attribute everything to fatigue, but I do think that's part of it. The little runs that you have to make to really get the kind of shape you need to start those counters and get angles for the passes you need haven't been there for much of the night.
And not just game to get fatigue either, as I think some of it might even be travel fatigue, as they've been all over the country recently, even into Canada.
Yeah, they flew to Montreal, won a match there, took a bus to Rochester, lost there, and then a bus to Chicago where they played an overtime match against the Chicago Fire Tuesday, and now here for this match tonight.
As there's a nice sequence of passing as Montano will rip the ball into the box. As Adams and Rasmussen working very well together. So
It's
lovely bit of passing.
The new players have certainly helped give a little jolt to this team, and it'll give Louisville its 6th corner here.
And we'll see if Louisville City is able to find a man in a purple jersey as opposed to a white jersey on this corner kick, as the Red Bulls have done an excellent job defending him. This ball sent in and goes over everybody's head. Now across the field to Montano, will send it back in. But again, the Red Bull defensive line is very good in the air, and Burke will rip the shot. And that bounced off of Reynolds, I believe, and now the counter is on. But a couple of whistles there. I saw a flag up. So it'll end up being offsides going against Louisville City. As I believe that was off the shot from Burke, as every Louisville City player was on the wrong side of that imaginary line.
Louisville has been unbeaten at home. The best that the opponents have been able to muster has been a draw here, but certainly they are on the ropes today.
So now the Red Bulls started on the near side, and they'll go back to the near side. As I believe that's Bedoya on the ball. Bedoya, Burke defending. Bedoya, nice footwork, but Burke stood tall. Bedoya sends it into the box. This ball falls back to Etienne. Etienne will take the shot, but will miss it to the narrow side.
Oh, no, that was a great hustle play to block it there.
That was
Is that Montano?
I believe so, yes. I missed that block, but because I was sure Etienne would have had a better shot, or Etienne would have a better shot than that.
Great hustle to come back. Those are the kinds of plays they thrived on in Chicago. My goodness, did they make hustle plays defensively all night long, and I think they may be paying for it tonight, although taking nothing away from the Red Bulls.
This ball sent into the box, and that will be a foul going against the Red Bulls on that attempt.
You got to tip your hat to New York, who starts a rough road swing for themselves here. When Louisville's made a mistake, they have been quick to exploit it. Their defense has been solid most of the night.
That's a nice job by Rivera turning it. Gets it up to Illick. Illick. And a couple players down.
That's going to be a foul and a yellow card. That's going to be Akinyode, who gets the 4th yellow. for these Red Bulls. And Louisville's got a free kick in a dangerous spot right here.
As the yellow cards really starting to accumulate for both teams right now in this game.
6 total, 4 for the visitors, 2 for Louisville. This is a dangerous spot. Can they find a way here to cut the lead in half? Big opportunity for Louisville City.
As Adams standing over this ball, waiting for the whistle. As the ref telling some guys to keep the hands off each other.
Well, the more he lets this go, the more it's going to turn into an MMA over here.
And now a couple things as Quinn reacted, as it looked like he got it shoved, but the ref stops anything else from continuing.
Well, certainly Louisville appreciates the importance of this opportunity.
And Adams takes it, but that one never had a chance as it was miles over the post.
James O'Connor stands hands on hips, wondering what has happened to his side, who has done a terrific job all year when given opportunities, maximizing them. They have squandered quite a few tonight.
As Castano boots that one downfield. Burke getting chased by Bedoya, but Burke doing well with the pressure. And now continuing up the right side is Rasmussen. But a poor pass to Adams. And Adams with the extra effort. And Montano, beautiful job there. And Adams racing, gets it to Illick. Back to Adams. That hits a Red Bull player on the ground. Ball still in play as Rasmussen crosses it in. And that ball headed out. And Rivera hits the deck now. And a lot of bodies.
They're trying now. They're flopping to try and pick up fouls, and you know, it is a physical game. You understand why, but you also have to. And again, giving Red Bulls all the credit they deserve. Louisville has really not done a lot with the opportunities they've had. That was a really good chance there. They really didn't get much out of that either. It's kind of been the story of their night. Now
Fernandez. Louisville City working from the right side of the field. Fernandez gets it back. Nice moving pass to Adams. Adams puts the move on. He's taken down. Continuation. Montano crosses it in. Was looking for Rivera.
Montano's had a solid match tonight. He's made some good things happen. Although he did get the ball taken away on that second goal. He was the catalyst for that.
As tonight, I've been thoroughly impressed with this New York Red Bulls defensive line on all of the set pieces or crosses. There's always been a head there to meet it.
Yep, they have been good in the air tonight. There's no question. That's going to be.
There's a takedown there. Yep. Now in the 80th minute, New York Red Bulls still up 2-0 over Louisville City. As Louisville City has been unable to find the back of the net in quite a long time. This could be the third game in a row being unable to find anything going on the offensive side of the ball. As Adams gets that up to Illick. Illick trying to get the ball back to Adams. Adams benefits from the slip, trying to get it to Rivera, but it's too far in front of him. As Rivera acknowledging the nice pass from Adams, giving him the thumbs up. As that could have been a moment for Louisville City to maybe spark some life back into this one.
That was a golden opportunity. Again, losing his footing. You'll see the defender fall down right there. That's the tail end of it. And Adams has a man, but
Rivera
was too far ahead and not able to turn it even into a shot opportunity.
As again, Rivera's been a nice addition into the lineup this half. As he's had a couple of chances. And his touch betrays him there as the Red Bulls get it. And Burke with the interception. Up to Rasmussen along this right side. Some nifty passing up to Fernandez and now to Rivera. And that ball will be taken out of bounds. Throw in to Louisville City. As they will switch fields here. It's now Montenot to Adams. As the Red Bulls look to have everybody back defending this one here. Burke. Along the right side, Bedoya pressuring and almost picking it off. Adams. He's got Montenot. Montenot, if he can get there. And a collision as Montenot and Jean-Baptiste bump into each other.
Baptiste is not a guy who's going to run from many collisions. He's a big, strong player.
He believes the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And now Illich. Illich takes the shot. But an easy one for Castano to save there on the near side post.
Castano's had a solid game, though. He has been in the right place, good position. When he's been challenged, he's responded. As you said, gave him nothing to shoot at on the near post, and when the shot came, makes the quick dive and takes it cleanly.
This looks like a New York Red Bulls player down on the pitch there.
Two guys down, one on his knees, one on his bottom. Just that's a cramp, though. And they start bending and stretching things in this kind of heat. That's a cramp.
And it'll also be almost like a mini water break as got a water boy with a bunch of water coming out of the field so everybody can get some fluids.
It's a humid night. There's no question about that. It rained almost all day, but cleared. The weatherman certainly cooperated. As the match got ready, the skies cleared. It turned into a very comfortable night to watch a match. But if you're a player, hydration is certainly got to be an issue tonight.
As again, this really probably back-to-back perfect weather home games for Louisville City, as we alluded to earlier in the match. That has been a luxury this season.
I missed one match, and you were here for the all 4 seasons in one night, evidently. You had hail, you had rain, I think there was a little snow in there, a little bit of everything.
That's why I was so amazed when earlier in the week there was a possibility that this game would have been pushed back to tomorrow
because
afternoon.
Of the tropical storm, which is the only thing we haven't had yet.
Tropical Storm Bill. I still think that's a great name for a tropical storm. As the Red Bulls working now on the far side, and that one going out of bounds for a goal kick. As time is beginning to run out for Louisville City. And they might not be able to get a result out of this one.
The fans have voted their man of the match, Ryan Burke, and that's a good selection. He's been playing very well for this squad.
And now, Bedoya and Burke stopped him there on the near side.
Right on cue.
And now Fernandez, and they'll hit that off a player, and it'll be a goal kick for Louisville City. As Bob, if you're Louisville City, you definitely want to find the back of the net at least once.
Well, that would be huge to end this on the scoreless streak here. As we said, minutes away from being shut out for the 3rd straight match, twice in league play.
As Fernandez gets it up to Rivera, who gets it over to the far side to Burke, who gets it into the box. But again, the Red Bull defensive line having a phenomenal night tonight, as they've gotten on the end of every cross. And now the counter on for the Red Bulls is Bedoya putting the afterburners on, but Shinosky able to win it back for Louisville City. Now Reynolds up to Quinn. Back to Shinosky along the right side, up to Burke, who chips it into the box. But again, now Montenot has Adams there. Adams tried to leave that off for Quinn, but it was too far in front of him. And now Rivera and Montano, a nice little back heel, trying to get the ball back. And that
Ball's still in.
How did that ball stay in? As Montano crosses it in. Again, the Red Bulls are there.
Here's a shot.
But Burke crosses it in. And again, the Red Bull defense not yielding an inch.
Every time they play a ball in the air, you're right. It has been the Red Bulls winning that battle in the air. I thought for sure Burke was going to pull the trigger running onto it from the back, but he went for the cross.
As off the quick restart there, Louisville City had a brief chance, and it was just announced a record 7,454 here tonight to see this one.
Yeah,
it's a new record for Louisville City.
yeah, but the second time they've gone over 7,000, 7,100 was the previous record, and we thought it was going to be the case as we looked around tonight.
Burke sends it in, has Rivera, and goes just by him. Again, as the crosses are mere one New York Red Bull player away or one Louisville City touch away from finding the back of the net. So we're now in the 89th minute here. And Louisville City still trying to find something, anything. But to no avail as of yet. And that ball going out of bounds for a goal kick to the Red Bulls. As we'll have another substitution here. As also a yellow card for Castano for time wasting. And Metzger.
Hope he has a warranty on that yellow card because he's going to wear it out tonight. He's going to need a new one.
Speaking of,
by my count, I thought that was the 7th, but the stat sheet only shows 6.
I believe 7 is correct, because I'm with you.
There were 4 for the Red Bulls earlier.
And the substitution is Mike DeFonte will be coming on for the Red Bulls, and he'll be replacing number 44, I believe. Excuse me, 44, Mike DeFonte is coming on, replacing 45, Chris Sonis, as he's taking his sweet time to get off the pitch. As the Red Bulls definitely in no hurry tonight, as the clock is definitely the friend, and the all 7,454 fans letting the Red Bulls know they're not happy with that strategy. As Rasmussen will earn the foul there. And we've got 4 minutes of stoppage time as Louisville City 4 minutes to get another opportunity to get something, find some kind of offensive momentum that might give them something going into next week's game. And that ball off the reset going all the way back to Goodwin. And the ref having another conversation here as Shinaski not happy with something. And we'll have
I assume it's a free kick for New York based on
dangerous position there.
Yeah, the
perhaps
incredulous look of the Louisville players. So chance for them to add one more.
That might be a yard or two close to do whole lot, as it will be Edian, who's been the star tonight for the Red Bulls, looking like he'll be set to take this one, and Bedoya also standing over it as the wall is set, and Edian will take it, but that ball never had a chance. Goes well over the post, and Gooden will get things started very quickly up the left side to Montano. Ball going out of bounds as Montenot look to reset, and Louisville City turns it over here, only to get it back. That's Montenot now working with Reynolds. There's a long ball here, looking for Reynolds. Excuse me, looking for Rivera. And the Red Bulls end up with this one here. And again, all kinds of space. Nobody closing out of him as DeFonte, the substitute, on this left side here. And that ball will go out of bounds.
No, it's a free kick.
Be a free kick.
Burke pleading his case to no avail. "14 shots for Louisville, only 7 for New York, but they could not find one. Find its way through.
As the Red Bulls will take that free kick very short, and it will end up being Louisville City ball here. And Burke working with Fernandez and Rasmussen. Nice little move there by Rasmussen to win the throw-in. Louisville City and Burke doing everything he can on this right side.
Burke is absolutely playing his heart out.
As a foul there, I believe going against Burke as he sort of undercut Metzger there. And Metzger, and no rush to get up.
Very physical game that's gotten chippier and chippier as it's progressed. Some of that has to be attributable to Louisville's frustration, as this will now be 3 straight games that they're shut out if they can't find one here in stoppage time.
There's another whistle here.
And that'll be a card.
And if our count is right, that's 8 yellow cards on the match tonight.
6 for the visitors. And I believe that is it.
And that is all she wrote, as the New York Red Bulls, too, will be coming out of this one for a much-needed 2-0 victory. As quick look at the standings, that will push the New York Red Bulls 2 to 19 points. And they'll still be a point behind Louisville City FC, but they will be alone in 5th place, 3 points ahead of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Yeah, Louisville with a missed opportunity there to close within 1 of 2nd place. Charleston and Richmond tied with 24 points. And as we said, they lose the first of this 4-game homestand, a key stretch for Louisville. But good news, the biggest crowd in franchise history, 7,400, but they go home disappointed. They don't see their team score, and a tired Louisville team has a week to regroup before they will come back here on this same field in their next league match. Next week, you see Coach James O'Connor applauding his fans as he walks off, because he has made mention more than once of the great support this team has gotten, but not the result the home team wanted by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, Bob, it was a fun, hot one tonight. Glad the weather cleared up as we were able to watch this one. On behalf of our production team, Turbo Sports Group, and all of those at Louisville City FC, for Bob Valvano, I'm Jim Womble. Once again, the final score from Slugger Field is the New York Red Bulls 2, Louisville City FC nothing. So long from Louisville.